I don't even know. All right. Well, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pull up the chat. We're gonna. Oh nope. Where's the chat? There's the chat. There we go. Okay, cool. So we got the chat up. We're gonna start out by playing some Raid Shadow Legends because you guys know me. I'm always on that grind when it comes to Raid Shadow Legends. It is Monday, right? I'm streaming at the right time, right? Bang, bang. Yeah, it's Monday. Okay, cool. And we're a little bit late, but it's all good. Yeah, so let's turn on the Raid Shadow Legends music because I don't have any other options. All right. So news, progression, rewards, none of that is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for here. Here we go. Options. I hear nothing. There we go. Now I'm hearing some music. Okay, what is that looking like for you guys? Okay, so that's not too loud. Yeah, we can make that work. That seems to work fine. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna turn on that music because I have no other option right now for music. XD, can I chill too? Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, we're just chilling. I threw my back out. I normally play first person shooters most of the time, and I threw my back out so I can't really like get in the zone today. So just kind of chilling, man. Hope your day's going well. Let's see. So I'm gonna start out by clearing this list. Hey, what's going on, PP? What's good, my mans? How's your day going? You know me, PP. Any day where I'm just chilling, it's gonna be a Raid Shadow Legends day, because of course it is. Yeah, no. Yeah. Well, did you change your name or something? What? All right. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah. So what was I gonna say? I was saying something. Oh yeah. So I threw my back out on Saturday. I got off the stream, went to the gym on Friday. Everything was good. And Saturday, I went to the gym and was trying to get out of the gym before there were some people that were supposed to come over on Saturday, right? And so I was trying to get in the gym and get out of the gym before they got to the house because I needed to take a shower and all that. And I went a little too hard in the gym, and yeah, I basically got like I basically spent all day or all night, Saturday night into Sunday morning when I was supposed to be sleeping. I basically would get about 10 minutes of sleep, wake up in pain, spend about 5 minutes trying to roll over to my other side because I'm a side sleeper. And then I'd get about 10 minutes of sleep and do the same thing the other direction. So yeah, that was that night. And then last night I actually got a decent amount of sleep, which reminds me I forgot to take an Advil. Don't do drugs, kids, but I need to take an Advil, and I forgot to do it before the stream, so I'm taking one now. Don't do drugs, kids. This is Advil. I promise. It even says it on the pill. Here, 1 second. I'll show you guys. See. It says Advil. It's an Advil. Hopefully that actually came into focus. I don't know. But yeah, I kind of forgot to do that. So let's do that. But yeah, so back, how are you? I kind of just explained it all. You kind of missed it, PP. Sorry. Oh, you did change your name. Is that what you're saying? XD Red or RED? Yeah. Okay. Well, is this Wimley then? Is that who this new name is that I see in the comments section? Is that what's going on here? But yeah, just imagine how buff you're gonna get. I don't think I'm not genetically predisposed to getting buff, unfortunately. It's really hard for me to put on weight. When I left high school, I put on, let's see, I think I went into high school weighing like about 130. Is when I went into high school. I left high school weighing about 165. So I put on 35 pounds of muscle and fat, but mostly muscle over the course of 4 years. And that's like your peak growth is going to be in the high school age range. But since then, that was, let's see, when did I leave high school? That's gonna be 7 years ish ago, 7, 8 years ago is when I left high school. Um, and I've put on 10 pounds since then. So I'm not a person that's prone to putting on muscle. Um, Now there are always drugs and stuff that you can take that'll help boost your ability to put on muscle, but with how messed up my body is already, I don't want to add to it and start taking a bunch of other stuff. And then plus the other thing is so on top of that, on top of my body not being prone to putting on muscle and me not taking a bunch of drugs to put on muscle, I have a bunch of injuries that I have to train around, which also makes it harder for me to put up muscle. So, it's just one of those things. It'd be cool to be, I mean, my target weight would be sub 10% body fat with a lot of muscle, basically be my same height, because that's not going to change, and 200 pounds would be like target weight for me. Anything heavier than that would be a little bit heavy, I think, for me, but that's the goal, is 200 pounds. And I don't have like a time frame. That's just over the course. Like, I want to do this healthily. I don't want to do this like, again, by taking a bunch of drugs to get there. So in order to do it the healthy way, I'm willing to take any amount of time. But looking at my ancestry, most likely when it comes to me aging, I'm gonna be one of those like old, frail, skinny old people. That's the way I'm gonna look when I get old, because that's the way my grandparents look like on both sides. At least the males do. On my dad's side specifically, the females tend to be big for some reason, but the males all seem to be skinny. And then on my mom's side, both the males and females tend to be skinny. So genetically, I should be more predisposed towards becoming, skinny old guy. But anywho. Stay in school, don't do drugs, eat your vegetables. I mean, eat what you need to get the nutrition you need. But that's hard to know what nutrition you need without going to a nutritionist. So I don't necessarily agree with eat your vegetables. Eat what you have to get the nutrition you need. As far as don't do drugs, personally, I don't do drugs, and I encourage you not to do drugs. But if you're gonna do drugs, do them responsibly, and then stay in school. I'd say stay in school while you legally have to, which is up to about high school. Once you get into college, I would actually recommend that most people don't go to college unless specifically the job you want in the future requires you to go to college. For instance, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, you can't do that unless you go to college. But if you want to, be a photographer, you don't have to go to college for that. Although they offer college courses and degrees in photography, yeah, you can learn most of that stuff on your own. You don't have to go to college to do it. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. Stay in drugs. Don't do vegetables. Eat your school. Yeah, that's. I like that. I like that one better, PP. I like that one better. Swear you can only get muscle from protein. No, but it helps. So protein helps your body build muscle. And helps you recover. So basically, what protein's going to allow your body to do is not waste muscle. So if you work out extremely hard, ooh, that's actually a good piece of gear. Never mind. It's flat stat. Do I sell? I need the gear so bad, I don't think I can even sell that right now. This set is in high demand because of something that happened in this game. But yeah, basically protein's just going to allow it to where if you have an extremely hard workout, whenever you're working out, you're actually breaking down the muscle. And in order for your muscles to get bigger, you have to repair them. Your body has to go through the rest and recovery process. And whenever it repairs that muscle, it will repair it stronger and usually bigger, which is how people get huge. And protein just helps that process along. So you can still put on muscle, but if you work out too hard, you can actually work out to the point where you actually are degrading yourself more than you're building yourself up. So you have to get your nutrition right to balance out with how hard you're working out. And of course, you can always work out so hard that you actually injure yourself. It's all a balancing act, but protein does aid in your ability to go harder in the gym and have it still be a fruitful process. But yeah. Hey, what's going on, Moonloon? Wow, you're pretty advanced at RSL. I don't know what RSL is. RSL. What is RSL? 1 second. I need to Google what that is because I want to know what you're saying I'm advanced in. Oh man. Come on. I hate my phone. There we go. What is RSL? RSL. RSL funding. This is saying it's like a soccer team. I don't know. Oh, I'm pretty advanced. Right, Raid Shadow Legends. Duh. Thank you, Moonloon. Sorry. It took me. Yeah, I got you. Raid Shadow Legends. Wow, you're pretty advanced at Raid Shadow Legends. Yes and no. So where I'd say I'm at in Raid Shadow Legends, Moonloon, to those of you who don't know, Moonloon's over on twitch.tv, so that's who I'm talking to. Raid Shadow Legends, I'd say I'm mid to late game. I'm not end game. For me to consider, so the reason why I would place myself there is I'm at late game because I can clear all the dungeons at 20. I can go over here. You can see we'll go here. Ice golems, all of them, all the way down. I can clear all the dungeons at 20, spider, all of them at 20. So that would put me towards late game. But the reason why I wouldn't say I'm at end game is because my criteria for end game is two things. One is that end game, to be considered end game, you have to have gotten Lydia here, which requires you to beat all of Faction Wars, and I am nowhere close. Well, I can't say I'm nowhere close, but I'm not that close. I'm kind of close, but I'm not quite there. That's why I'd say late game. And then the other thing is I'm not in Ultra Nightmare. I'm still in Nightmare, which I have not done any runs today. So my team, my clan is probably really mad at me. But and then the third criteria to be considered end game would be to have completed hard mode in the Doom Tower, which just released. And as you can see, I am nowhere close. I am stuck right here. I completed it on normal. I went for normal first because I thought it would be the easier one, but I haven't completed hard. So again, I'd say I'm mid to late game. For instance, I'd say Clan Boss makes me more towards mid game. This makes me more towards late game. Dungeons makes me more towards late game, and Faction Wars makes me more towards mid to late game. So yeah, that's why I would not quite say I'm end game, but I am late game into Raid Shadow Legends. I'm pretty far. But yeah. Anyways. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Can you convert fat to muscle? No. What you're going to convert fat to, so sorry, PP. What you're going to convert fat to is fat is going to convert to energy the same as carbs are. Fat is usually a result of excess carbs or excess energy. So yeah, your fat is going to convert to energy. But your body can also convert muscle into energy. So you have to be really careful about balancing how you're treating your body, because if you treat your body wrong, your body will actually eat its muscle and its fat as it's trying to, like, if people go on basically a starvation diet and they're not working out while trying to lose weight, your body can actually consume its muscle and you'll end up actually weaker than you were. So yeah, that's, but yeah, that's what your body will use fat for. I'm like 50 kg right now. LOL, I'm only 14. I don't know what 50 kg converts to. I can convert it right quick, but let's see. How much am I in kg? 175 pounds to kg. So I'm about 80 kg. So you weigh like 30 kg. You're pretty light then. But also, I forgot you're shorter than me too. So that has something to do with it. But yeah, that's not too bad. I'll be back at like oh wait, is this oh dang it, what's your PSN name? I think XD Red, I know who you are now. It's House. It's House, isn't it? XD Red, you're House, aren't you? But he said he'll be back at 8:30 a.m., so that's all good. Hey, what's going on, Raven? Sorry it took me so long to see you there. I thought it was just a second comment from Moonloon, and I went back to address some of the comments from the people over on YouTube. So let's see. Today has been a lazy day. Mom had internet cable for unknown reasons. Apparently today out any regular schedule because laptop too much. Yeah. Hey, man. Your parents, man. There's just nothing we can do about it. Your parents are your parents, bro. Before that, I was just watching XQC, being XQC for like 3 hours. Yeah, let's see. Then the internet went out, just played PS4, did a Minecraft speed run. Nice. Failed Minecraft speed run. I fell in a stupid... Oh, okay. That sucks, man. Nah, I don't know, man. Minecraft came out with a whole storyline, but it's like, I don't know. I need to get back into Minecraft at some point, but again, it's just hard to justify spending money on it. That's my main hang up on it. After getting Eyes of Ender and then trying to find that, find the end portal, I look up the sky, blindly running forward, and just fell into the Earth's crack hole. Yeah, that sucks, man. Yeah, but you're still pretty high level if you compare with someone that is beginning. Yeah, I mean, I'd say like for Raid Shadow Legends, I'd really consider you a beginner up until you hit about level 50. You can hit level 50 in Raid Shadow Legends not knowing what you're doing at all. And that's, you can hit level 50 in like not knowing what you're doing at all in like, I don't know, 3 months, easily 3 months. So yeah, I'd say like, and I don't know, it's probably, about a week ago, I hit the final reward for the login rewards. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think that's like 9 months of playing, which I think I've been playing for about 12 because there was a little overlap there where they didn't have login rewards. So yeah, I'm pretty far into it, but I also took a break for like 2 to 3 months as well. So I don't know, man. I really only got back into it because there was a YouTuber that I wanted to help out in his Raid Shadow Legends endeavors, and yeah, now he's taking a break from the game. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm still trying to. I enjoy parts of this game, but there's other parts of this game I don't really like. But now that I'm free to play, I wasn't free to play when I first started playing this game, but now I'm pretty much free to play. And yeah, I'm enjoying it more because it's like when I wasn't free to play, I was trying to be competitive. I was actually in one of the top clans in the world. If you play Raid Shadow Legends, you probably know them. They're Sin. The Sin cluster was I was in them, and then the Sin cluster actually broke up into Virtue. And I joined Virtue because I knew the guy who created Sin took a break from the game, and he let somebody else take control of this Sin cluster. Well, whenever he came back to the game, he didn't even want to take over. He just wanted to, come back to the game and chill and hang out. Well, whenever he came back, he realized how messed up everything had gotten and how basically relaxed everything had gotten, in the sense that like people weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. Like it was a relaxed environment, but there was still like requirements that need to be met, and there were a lot of people not meeting those requirements. So he basically tried to get everything back in order, and the new head of the Sin cluster didn't like that, and it started creating a rift between everybody in there, and so he ended up leaving and creating Virtue, and I left with him because I was more friends with the original creator of the Sin cluster anyways. But yeah, so then I fell out of that because I stopped spending money on the game, and so therefore wasn't one of the top players anymore. And yeah, so now I've got a fairly late game account that is basically just here to help out other YouTubers. That's basically what I'm using this account for, but let's see. So then I just gave up and went to GTA to resume the story mode, which I restarted again about a fourth of the way done. Nice. No, so I saw, I Grand Theft Auto is just not my game, but something I saw that was cool is I saw a comparison between Cyberpunk, the new one, and a comparison between that and Grand Theft Auto 5, and it makes you realize like although Grand Theft Auto was great back in the day, Cyberpunk on max graphics looks so much better than Grand Theft Auto 5. It makes Grand Theft Auto like a lot of people thought Grand Theft Auto 5 still looks like a modern title until Cyberpunk came out, and now everybody's like, "Oh, that game is starting to look dated." So yeah, I don't know, but that's also on max graphics with both, so it's a thing. Yeah, I'm a little underweight, for obvious reasons. Yeah, man. I mean, the thing is like being under and overweight. I mean, I don't know if I'd say you're underweight because I don't know for sure off the top of my head. Like like I can't put together a whole idea of your BMI and all that in my head right now. But basically, so all that's done. Cool. Um, we're gonna keep hitting dragon because right now there is an event going on. Okay, so let's see. We got 30 minutes there. We're good. So then I need to check here. Okay, so we're good there. Wait, how long do we have on this one again? We have 3 days on that event, and we're good. And then we have to check dragons. We have a dragon event here. Dragons. So let's see. How far are we? We are really far away. I'm trying to get to here, but I think they said that that'll take about 2,000 energy, which we are definitely not going to do on stream, but I'm definitely going to get us down away from max energy. That's for sure. But yeah, being underweight is preferable to being overweight as long as it's not the extreme. Like you can be, let's see, okay, you can be like 15 to 20 pounds underweight and be relatively fine. Once you start getting out of that range, it starts getting to where you're into more health complications for you being underweight. Once you get in, but with being overweight, once you hit like 10 pounds overweight, depending, again, it's more of a percentage than anything, but for most people, once you start getting into like 10 pounds overweight, you're starting to reach into health complications. So it's better to be skinnier than it is to be fat, but either way, on either extremes, being too skinny or being too fat, both you're gonna run into problems. So, it is what it is, though. I mean, again, you're living with your parents. Your parents are the ones making your food. You've got to, they're in control of your diet. So unfortunately, that might be, hurting you in the long run. But they're gonna make their decisions, and you're forced to live with it. So, for how long have you been working out? So as far as working out, I in high school I worked out for 4 years. And then after high school, I got into a job that required me to be very physically active. So I'd count about 2 years, but it really stepped down. So in high school, I was an athlete, so that's what I was focused on, and that's so consider that 4 years of working out. The next 2 years after that was more so maintenance working out. It wasn't like trying to grow; it was just trying to stay healthy, basically. And then I got injured a lot over and over and over again over the course of that 2 to basically 3 years. And then didn't work out for about a year or two. And then now I got back into working out for about a month, and then coronavirus hit. And then that made me take a break for 2 to 3 months. And then now I'm back to working out. So I've been working out now for about 3 weeks, I'd say roughly 3 weeks. Ooh, dang it, man. These flat stats, bro. Every time these flat stats, dude. Ugh. I think I have to keep it though. Like I need this set so bad. But yeah, so I've been working out now for like 3 weeks to about a month. And I've put on 5 pounds. Obviously, that's not 5 pounds of muscle. That's 5 pounds of fat, water, and muscle. But that was a quick 5 pounds. So I was averaging about 170 most of the time, and now I'm averaging about 175. And of course, I'm weighing myself with like t-shirt and boxers on, nothing else. If I put on like shoes and all that stuff, I easily hit 180. The rest of my clothes weigh 5 pounds easy. Um, but yeah, I'm hitting about I got about 5 pounds right now, but I'm also like I'm the type of like my metabolism is so high and my I guess the thing is like I don't have a high heart rate. Like I don't have high or low blood pressure. I have a naturally lower heart rate, but it's not into low blood pressure. Um but that's also because I have fairly high cardiovascular health. So I don't know. I'm just like my sitting my my lifestyle right now, which I spend a lot of time in a chair because I'm injured. My lifestyle right now, I think they said I'm burning close to 2,500 calories just sitting around all day. That's what they told me whenever they did all this stuff for me. And basically to put on weight, they're recommending that I try to eat near 3,000 calories, which is a lot. Um, Needless to say, I haven't been doing that, but I've been eating to the point where I'm just about nauseous every meal and drinking two of these specifically formulated protein drinks that will help me hit the macros that I'm supposed to hit. So between all of that, again, I'm putting on weight, but it's not necessarily as good as they think I could do if I could hit 3,000 calories. But that's just so much food. It's hard to hit 3,000 calories. But anyways, yeah, working out for about a month. It's going pretty good. I've only thrown my back out once so far, and I haven't aggravated too many other injuries. Usually, I guess I should also go into the way I work out right now for growth. The idea is to do push pull legs that's those 3 days, and then I do the next 3 days, and then Sunday is a rest day. Push pull legs, another term for that would be like chest and tries, back and buys, and legs. And for legs, because most of my injuries are on my lower body, usually for legs I'm doing very low impact, usually on a machine kind of style workout. And because I threw my back out, the workouts I will be doing will be all machines as well. And do we actually are we about to lose? No, we're not about to lose. For a second there, I thought we were about to lose. I was like, "Oh, geez, that we were losing a lot of people here." But yeah, all right, so we're good. But yeah, so I weigh 50 kg, not 30 kg. LOL. Yeah, I'm saying 30 kg less because you weigh 50, 60, 70, 80. You weigh 30 kg less than me. That's what I was saying. 14-year-old would be worrying. No, can I see your keyboard? I don't have a camera currently set up to allow you to see that, but I can tell you what my keyboard is, Red. My keyboard right now is a Wu-Tang 1. It is the short variant that does not have the number pad. This keyboard actually stopped working on me for a while, so I actually, for a while, was using, it's a discontinued Razer keyboard. I believe there's one of the Sidemen. It's a UK YouTubing group. KSI is a part of it. One of them, I remember, said he uses this keyboard exclusively, and whenever they stopped making them, he ordered like 10. So if you know who I'm talking about, I don't remember these guys' names. I just remember seeing that keyboard, and I wrote it down at one point because I was like, oh, that's the name of this keyboard because I couldn't find it. But I obviously don't remember it anymore. But let's see, do I have it somewhere? I don't know where that keyboard is right now, but currently I have switched back to the Wu-Tang 1. I ended up having to shove in like a toothpick into the side of the cord to hold it at the right angle to where this keyboard would actually work. But it's working fine now, so it is a proprietary key switch, I believe, but it is a mechanical key switch similar to red switches. So yeah, that's what I'm working with right now. But yeah, sorry, and unfortunately, because I've got everything, I try and cable manage everything, so everything's zip tied down, so I can't lift it up high enough. And because that toothpick is holding the wire in, I'm afraid if I remove that toothpick and unplug my keyboard to hold it up to show it to you, that I won't be able to get it all working back the way it is. It's kind of jerry rigged into the position, and I kind of want to leave it there and not mess with it. And I don't have a camera that I can pull down because that camera that you guys are watching me through is also zip tied down, because of course it is when it comes to cable management. But let's see. Okay, so PP says, sad because I got out of the Nether at like 30 minutes in. Oh man. I remember building a Nether portal, but I don't remember. I think what I had to do to build a Nether portal was, I think you had to go, didn't you have to go into the Nether, harvest the ground there or some type of material, and then come back and build a like portal doorway, and then like spark it with like flint and steel or something? I think that's what you had to do. Do you play Clash of Clans? No, I did back in the day, Moonloon. I played Clash of Clans. I think I made it to the max level before that was increased as well in that game. And I made it to the max level that your character, like your profile, could be, and I made it to max tavern, and most of my stuff was upgraded to the max. But I think I still had like 10 or so buildings that weren't upgraded, but most of my walls were upgraded and most of my defensive stuff was upgraded. And I believe my favorite character was the same whenever I played Clash Royale. My Clash of Clans and Clash Royale, both of them, I remember giants were like my main thing that I would go with. But I did play Clash Royale for a long time too. I got fairly far into that game as well. This is a trend with me with most mobile phone games. If I get into a mobile phone game, most of them I will get close to the end game and either get to the end game, get bored, and then they increase it. And so by today's standards, I'm not really that far. Or I'll get to close to the end game, they'll increase it. I'll get close to the end game again, they'll increase it, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm just chasing something I can never catch, so I just get bored. That's what happens with most games. But yeah, Clash for a while there, I was pretty high up there as well. I'm trying to think of what was a marker of how far I was. Oh yeah, originally they have like an arena system, if I remember correctly, and originally they had like the top arena tier, and then they added like 10 more at this point. But originally that top arena tier, I was consistently in it at every reset. So that's how far I made it into that. And then I think, let's see, what was my deck? Again, I used giants. I think I used giants, archers, and exploding skeletons. So the giants would take all the hits, the archers would kill everything that's hitting the giants, and then the skeletons would, the exploding skeletons would either deal a lot of AoE damage whenever they got close because everything's again attacking the giants, or they would do a lot of damage to the towers. I believe was like one of the builds that I would use, but that was pretty consistently what I would do. And then I think I had builds that were like rush builds as well. That one's like a slow and steady, it's gonna get it done build. But I had other builds that were like rush builds depending on what I knew I would be facing or not be facing. So, but yeah, I did play Clash of Clans. I don't anymore. They are both deleted off my phone entirely. So, and I really didn't start spending money on phone games until I hit Tap Titans 2. That's a phone game that I played a lot of as well. And then I started spending money on that game because that was an easier game to play while I was at work. And then I spent money on this game as well. But I never did spend money on Clash, unfortunately. I mean, I guess fortunately for me, but unfortunately for my ability to continue playing that game. Let's see. Can you mod Grand Theft Auto 5 with a very realistic texture? I don't know. I don't get into modding a whole lot. Modding to me is really complicated. Because it's all software stuff, and you know how good I do with software stuff. But yeah, I'm sure there's mods out there for Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm not about that life. It's kind of like Skyrim. I don't really like Grand Theft Auto. I love Skyrim, but both of them I would not mod. Like I love Skyrim, but even Skyrim I wouldn't take the time to go mod Skyrim to make it more fun. I also don't own a version of Skyrim that I can mod because the only version of Skyrim I own, I believe, is for the Xbox 360. So, you know, it is what it is. My BMI is healthy. I remember, though, we checked it in our biology class about a month ago. Unless you measured with like actual instruments, I don't know how accurate you'd be able to do that. My BMI was 18. Yeah, Yeah, I don't know how accurate that can be without, actually doing the tools and all that, but you might have done that. I don't know though. Do you split for full body? What do you recommend? Okay, well, like I said, I do push pull and legs, which is like back and buys, chest and tries, and then legs. And what I would recommend is it depends on what you're trying to do. So push pull legs is a good workout split for if you're trying to get that bodybuilder-esque physique. But if what you're doing, so if you're playing football, push pull legs is a decent workout. Not ideal, but it's decent enough. Um, really like, but if you're playing something like soccer, or if you're doing track or anything like that, if you're doing something that doesn't require your upper body, you always need a strong core, but you can do core every day. You can do core every single day of the week. I mean, I'd still take Sundays off. I'd still try and work out 6 days a week and take a day off. It doesn't have to be a Sunday for you, but a day off. And you can work core basically all week. But as far as muscle groups, basically what you want to do is you can split it up however you want, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend exceeding like I wouldn't recommend exceeding like it's hard to say. I mean I'd say like 8 to 10. So like 8 to 10 sets of you want to go 10 to 12 reps. Ideally, there's an argument again, training it's so hard unless you know specifically what you're training for. So if you're training for powerlifting, you're going to want to lift with a different set and rep range than if you're training for, say, endurance sports. Endurance sports, obviously, you're going to want to lift lower weight, higher reps. Training for strength or lifting a lot of heavy weight, you want to lift lower reps, heavy weight to get your body used to lifting that weight. Um, but really, for most people, if you're just training to be healthy and to look good, you want to do 10 to 12. 10 to 12 is that perfect range where you're getting the benefits of both. It's a high enough rep range that you're getting some benefits to cardiovascular health and your ability to have endurance. But it's low enough that you can still go heavy enough to still be getting some strength gains. So it's really about what you're training for. But yeah, so I would recommend, no more than that unless you're going really light. Um, and I'd say that's pretty much it. 10 to 8 sets of 10 to 12 reps. So 10 by 10 would be an easy way to remember it. Would be the most you'd want to do for any selected muscle group that you're training. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the easiest way to do it, I would say, is like that's just general information, but the easiest way to do it would be find a guy that has the body type you like and or is a professional in the sports you're trying to pursue, and ask them what they do and do that. Like if you ask what the best soccer, if you want to play soccer or football for the UK people, if you want to be a pro football slash soccer player, um look at what the best football slash soccer players are doing when it comes to working out and do that. It's that would be my recommendation. But for me personally, I'm going for more of a bodybuilder style look to me because I'm not able to play sports and I won't be able to play sports for quite a long time. So it doesn't really matter how well I can perform at any given sport. What matters is the way I look is what I'm training for. So, and bodybuilders look usually more uh, pleasing to the eye than a lot of pro athletes do. Um, and then also, even if I were to get back into professional sports, which I'm not good enough right now and probably wouldn't be for a long time, the professional sport I would probably choose to pursue would be rock climbing anyways, and that needs an upper body focus anyways. Your lower body does need to be strong, but flexibility and technical ability usually play more of a role than strength when it comes to your lower body and your upper body, but you do need a strong upper body and a strong core. So, yeah, I'd say that a bodybuilder workout routine also is decent for a rock climber's physique if you're talking about um being able to work out. But you could also say calisthenics would be a good thing to be doing, but I can't physically do that. Otherwise, I'd be rock climbing. So, um, yeah, needless to say, I think for me, going with a bodybuilder-esque workout is the most beneficial. But let's see. But yeah, push-pull legs is a generic workout you could do for most people. It's pretty beneficial. Um, 1 second. I'm gonna get a drink of water. I've been talking a lot. All right. Yeah. So, I'm thinking about working out in 2 years when I'm 16. Yeah. So the only thing I would say is that when you turn 16, I mean, honestly, from the age of 14 to 18 is when you're going to be growing the most. So it's a good time to be in the gym. The only thing you have to worry about is not what chemicals you're putting in your body. You really have to pay attention to what you're putting on your body that can affect you for the rest of your life if you're messing with your nutrition in the wrong way. So nutrition is really important if you're going to start. I would say you could start working out as young as 14, getting your body ready for what you're going to try and do in the future. And it all depends. So if you just want to look good, you can throw all this out the window. If you just want to look good, honestly, you can wait till you're a little bit older, because if you're just trying to look good, you're gonna be when you're at your peak testosterone is when you're gonna grow the fastest, which is gonna make you look better. But you're also not gonna be able to grow. You're not gonna be able to be as strong as somebody that's been training since they're 14, but you might look good. And you're gonna be doing potentially less damage for your body if you don't train well. So if you're just trying to look good, yeah, you can push off working out till you're older. If you're trying to be a healthy athlete, you can start working out as young as 14. You just have to be really conscious about not injuring yourself and not putting any disgusting chemicals into your body that you shouldn't be. But yeah, 14 to 18 is a pretty optimal age range to be starting your physical fitness journey. But yeah, 16 is not a bad time to start either. And really, it also, like, these are all generalities that I'm saying too, because like your body is your body and it might be different. So some people might, the average person, I'd say like 14 is probably a decent age range to start working out. It's young enough that you're getting a good foundation, so that way whenever you're trying to get stronger when you're older, you've got that foundation, but it's also not too young that you're more likely to injure yourself or damage your growth plates, right? But some people are fully grown at the age of 12. And if that's you, you can start working out at the age of 12. You're not gonna, if you're fully grown at the age of 12, you're not gonna hurt yourself by working out, as long as you don't actually injure yourself. And because if you do injure yourself, you're gonna have to live with that injury for longer if you get injured at the age of 12. It's really all about how you grow, is basically what it has to do with. But anyways, talking a lot about physical fitness today for some reason, from a guy that's injured and sits in a chair most of the time. But hey, it is what it is. Hopefully I can gain some fat by the time I'm a mess right now, LOL. Yeah, and that's the thing, man, is like, if your parents aren't supporting you, it's going to be harder for you when it comes to doing just about anything. If your parents aren't supporting you when it comes to like nutrition and time to work out, because like if you're, wow, we actually lost one. What the heck? We actually lost a round against the dragon. Jeez. But yeah, if your parents aren't supporting you, it's going to make your life a whole lot harder. It's still doable. I'm not saying that to discourage you. I'm saying it's just going to be harder. So you're going to have to work that much harder to keep up with everyone else. That's what happens when you drink water, you eventually get gas. But yeah, it's going to be hard on you. So you're going to have to work hard, and there's going to be days that you're going to be in pain. You're going to be like, "Oh man, I just shouldn't go to the gym today. I just need a rest day in the middle of the week." Nah, you get a rest day on your 7th day. Just you can make it till then. Even if you have to go in and go a little light that day, just go light and go heavier rep, or go more reps, and just listen to your body, but also realize sometimes you're gonna have to push through. You're gonna have a strong mind and push through what your body's telling you sometimes. But listen to your body. Don't ignore your body. But sometimes there's gonna be those days. Anyways, um, last time I checked, my oxygen levels in my blood was 82%. I'm assuming you mean like your blood oxygen level is in your how optimally your it's an indication of health and lung health. Oh, it's an indication of overall cardiovascular health and lung health. Smokers, that'll be lower, and or people that are not physically fit, that'll be lower. But honestly, if it's 90, I think average is 99, so mine's considerably low. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, is that I think the average it depends also on where you live, because if you live in an area with high levels of pollution, obviously that's going to affect your ability. And so where you live is going to play a big part into that. But I think the average isn't actually 99. I think it's a range, and I think it's anywhere from 95 to 99 is the range. I believe the last time I checked, now this was a long time ago when I was way healthier than I am now, because it was the last time I checked, that was when I was in my peak of physical fitness and I got a 99. I believe the worst I ever did was a 98. So I had but also that's kind of one of those tests, kind of like BMI, where it's a good indicator, but it's not like the go-to measurement. It's not like I wouldn't put 100% of your I wouldn't target trying to get a better BMI or target trying to get a better blood O2 level. I would, depending on, again, how your body feels is how I would judge that, more so than what the numbers say, because those numbers, even blood work, all these numbers have a little bit of variance to them, and so it's hard to say for sure, where you need to be. But as long as you feel healthy, that's the main thing. So if your blood O2, according to this test, is really bad, but you feel fine, then that's all that matters. But as long as you're in the 90s in general, you're pretty fine. It's when you start hitting into the 80s, but usually you won't hit the 80s unless you've got some other health risk factor, like you're obese, or you smoke, or you live in a place that has super bad pollution that's possibly going to kill you younger. Usually you're fine until you start hitting the 80s, and once you start hitting the 80s, then you got to start looking at what's going on and why that's happening. All right, so let's see. We're done with that. Oh yeah, so Moonloon, if you're still here and you wanted to look at what I have as far as champions, most of my champions are fusion or login rewards. I got lucky and pulled here, got lucky and pulled here. Login reward, quest, fusion, got lucky and pulled, fusion, pulled, fusion, reward, fusion, pulled. And then I have more down here. If you haven't noticed, I happen to have gotten 3 Molly Tankard. So you could say I got lucky and pulled, but 2 dupes of a legendary hero that I fused is kind of bad luck. Pulled, fused. Did I fuse him? I think he was a fusion, right? Yeah, he was a fusion. Pulled, fused, fused, pulled, fused. Most of my heroes, I think I've pulled actually about equal to the same amount of heroes that I've fused. And then add in log and rewards. Basically what I'm saying is most of the heroes that I've gotten are because I've been playing this game for a long time and I've fused them. I think the only fusion that I missed was 2 heroes, one of which is not here. Where is he? Is he Skinwalkers? Yeah, I missed this guy. This guy was a fusion for Halloween, and I missed him. It was one of the harder fusions. And he really didn't seem that good to me at the time. So it being one of the hardest fusions at that point, and it being him not being that good of a hero, I skipped this fusion. I completely skipped that fusion, and I was actively playing. And then the other fusion that I missed is if we go to Lizardman. Yeah, this guy. This guy was a recent fusion, but I missed him because this was during the 2 or so months that I wasn't playing the game. And I came back and started playing the game about 3 days before this fusion ended. So, did not complete this one either. But other than that, I'm pretty sure I've completed every fusion that I've been in the game for. I started playing this game. Actually, no, because I started playing the game within like 3 days of what's his name? The lucky guy. Let's go here. Ogren Tribes. This guy. Shamrock. I started playing the game about 3 days away from this fusion ending. So I've missed 3. Sorry, I got something on my ankle I had to rub right quick. I think it was either like, some piece of dirt or something. I don't know. Anyways, so I missed Shamrock Fusion. I missed 3 fusions, but there was also in the very beginning of the game, there was the Santa Claus fusion. I wasn't playing during that time, so I've missed 4 fusions total. I've only been playing the game though, and missed 3 fusions, but in total there are 4 that I wasn't able to complete because I straight up wasn't playing for one of them. And then right now we have the Pixneal fusion, which is this girl right here. I already have this guy. He needs to be leveled up. Have this guy. He needs to be leveled up. I'm working on getting this guy through the champion training tournament. I believe I am 1 reward away from getting him. And then this guy I do not have, but right now the dragon tournament, I'm trying to complete the dragon tournament to get this guy, and then I need to get her, and I'll be able to fuse him. So ideally what I'm going to try and do is do dragon, do champion training, and then fuse, and I'll have all these ready to go. So, and I think I should be able to do that in the next 2 to 3 days. So I'll still have a week of extra time. With that week of extra time, my plan is to basically get all this done first and have these guys ready to fuse at a moment's notice. Once I've got that done, then I'll worry about trying to complete these and getting a duplicate of some of these guys. Is basically kind of the idea. But yeah, I think we're good there. Let's go check arena with our 1 coin we've got here, and bang. But yeah, is 99, so mine's considerably low. Heart rate is quite high, like 102. Yeah, that is actually a pretty high heart rate, especially for your age. For your age, I would expect mid 80s would be like you've never worked out before in your life. I would expect it to be like in the 80s. Ideally, you want like if you were healthy, and I'm not saying you're not healthy, but I'm saying if you were like in peak athletic condition, you're looking at like the 60s. As like a resting heart rate. So yeah, a 102 at your age, I'm not saying that's bad, but I'm saying that your dietary choices that your parents are making do not appear to be too good for me. Good for me, good in my opinion. Oh, Moonloon, sorry, I just saw your comment. Have a good day, I must go. Yeah, no problem, Moonloon. Sorry to talk your ear off, but yeah, did you try free Rocket League? I'll address that question right quick before you leave. I did. I've streamed it once or twice. I enjoy it, but it's not like an amazing game that I want to play all the time. So, but I can stream it eventually every now and again. But I'll see you on the next one, Moonloon. Hope you have a good rest of your day, night, evening, whatever it is for you. All right, so back up to what PP was saying here. Yeah, 102, that's pretty high. That's not the best. Let's see. Okay, thanks. Yeah, no problem, Moonloon. See you on the next one. Let's see. Okay, so did that in biology class a couple of weeks ago. Okay, so here's the question again with the biology class thing about you doing your heart rate is, did you do a machine or did you count it? Because if you learned how to count it, your counting may be off. If you did it with a machine to like double check your answer and you still got around the 100 range, that's pretty high. And, you know, different things, stress in that situation could be affecting your heart rate, but even stress. So, for instance, for me in high school, when I was doing the same things that you're doing, I had already been working out and I was already in shape. And in high school at that age range, I was sitting at consistently the 60s. I was hitting a low enough blood pressure that they were actually worried I have low blood pressure, but then they did all these other tests and said, oh, you're just in really good shape. And so 60s was to be expected. And even in the class, I hit the 80s, but that was because I was under stress. So if you're sitting at the 80s and then you were really stressed out in that class and that got you up to the 102, it kind of makes sense, but that's kind of high for like a what would be considered a resting heart rate. Um, for instance, so low, you're looking at like 60s is low. But that just usually means you're really healthy, or it could be that you're not healthy and you've got a problem. But 60s is like the range of the minimum you want to go. As far as maximum you want to go when it comes to heart rate, anything close to 200 is dangerous. So right now, I'm not even in good shape right now, but my resting heart rate right now is usually in around the 70s. So it's gotten a little bit worse. But my resting heart rate is usually around the 70s, and my upper heart rate, my maximum. So this is whenever you're going all out as hard as you can go, which isn't really all out as hard as I can go because of my injuries, but it's as hard as I can go with my injuries. I'm hitting about 180. So I'm hitting that upper echelon of like, you don't really want to go much past this or you might start having problems. But yeah, so you're looking at anywhere from 60 being minimum, 200 being maximum. Anywhere in that range is usually fine when it comes to resting and working out, but you really want to be in like the 80s. That 100, if that's your consistent, like if you're laying down in bed and you've got 100 resting heart rate, that's not good. But yeah. Probably got low oxygen levels because I was wearing a mask. Also, I wasn't breathing. Well, that would usually do it. Um, but yeah, and then if you're holding your breath, trying not to breathe, that's gonna make your heart rate increase too. Usually, you can control that. There is a conscious level of control you do have over your heart rate. You can't consciously stop your heart from breathing, but you can do things and practice certain things to make your heart rate not escalate. That's part of like those people that can hold their breath for like 15 minutes. That's usually what they're doing is they've gotten good subconscious and conscious control over their heart rate. So what they can do is they can hold their breath and slow their heart rate down low enough that their body's using less oxygen. But anyways, yeah, if you're not breathing, then yeah, that's gonna affect these numbers. When I was really calm, I breathe every 10 to 15 seconds. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done a lot of this, like a lot of these numbers and tests in a long time, mainly because it doesn't matter. Like the reason why I was doing all this stuff in the past was because I was trying to see how healthy I was and figure out. So like I needed to be in good cardiovascular health because I'm playing football. I'm running up and down 200 yards back and forth um you know, several times for hours. So I need to have high levels of cardiovascular health, and I needed to have at the same time a lot of muscle because I needed to be strong enough to tackle someone. Um, so it was really important to have both. So the idea was whenever I was doing all these numbers and figuring out all this nutrition stuff and all this cardiovascular health stuff, the idea was to push my cardiovascular health into the upper percentile and my strength into the upper percentile was why I was what I was trying to do. Right now, I'm not really worried about that because I can't participate in sports. So I'm really more so worried about how I look over my general health. And as long as again you're staying within normal range, you're in general going to be fine. But it is whenever you don't have solid numbers to go off of, it really is, and even when you do, it really is all about how you feel. So as long as you're feeling healthy, you're usually doing all right. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and set up a clan boss run because my poor clan being all left behind. All right, so let's turn off auto and go here. I don't watch Sidemen, but my entire school is probably the entirety of London teenagers, if not all our brains washed to the Sidemen and KSI. Yeah, I don't really watch the only reason why I watch any of the Sidemen content is because it pops up in my feed. But I don't really watch any specific Sideman. I know so there's an Indian looking guy, there's an African looking guy, There's JJ, which is kind of like he kind of looks like he's a mix of a few things. And then there's like there's an old guy and then two really skinny tall white dudes, right? That's all the sidemen. And then and then there's the chubby bigger ginger guy, right? So yeah, I don't know. The sidemen are interesting. The problem is that their content seems to be targeted towards younger kids, but at the same time, some of the things they do, I don't think are necessarily the most appropriate for younger kids. So I don't know. So it's just one of those things that their content is viral on YouTube, so it's gonna cross your path eventually, no matter what you do. Okay, let's see. No, you go to the mine, get diamonds, make a diamond pickaxe, and mine like 12 obsidian to make a portal. Okay, don't you have to get obsidian from the nether or something? I don't remember. It's been a long time, but I thought you had to get obsidian from the nether. Because obsidian, I thought you had to get it from the nether because can't you make obsidian? Can't you just do lava and water and make obsidian? So you could make a portal without having to get a diamond pickaxe if you could just do obsidian. But I don't know. It's been a long time, so what do I know? I swear most UK teenagers just watch this Sidemen KSI TikTok junk and some random flexers flexing rich stuff. Yeah, no, I've never been much into the flexing thing. I don't really get that whole like hype culture. I'd get it if they were flexing cool things, but a lot of times when people are flexing, they're flexing like off-whites, which are literally just a custom designed version of another shoe that you can buy. If it's the same shoe, aside from the look, it doesn't change the quality. You're still buying the same baseline shoe. So I don't really get that. Like I get flexing, like flexing a Rolex, for instance. If you're flexing a Rolex, I say Rolex because it's a well-known brand, but if you're flexing, let's say like a Patek Philippe, or you're flexing some other fancy watch brand, flexing that makes more sense to me because you're actually flexing something of quality. So if you can compare like a Rolex or a Patek Philippe or one of these other big brands, do something like a Gucci watch is going to cost a lot of money and it's trash when it comes to the actual quality. So like if you're going to flex something, flex it because it's good, not because it's name recognizable. You get what I'm saying? Like people that are flexing like Gucci and Off-White and like what's that other brand that everybody flexes all the time? There's a bunch of brands that people flex because and those brands do cost a lot of money, so they're flexing the fact that they're rich. But at the same time, it's like you're buying garbage. You're buying garbage with a rich name on it. That's what you're buying. Versus buying something that is expensive for a reason. Like a Rolex is expensive for a reason. Rolex is a bad example. It's just the one that everybody recognizes. But Rolex is still, even though it's a bad example, it's still, you still are paying for superior quality engineering, design. You are kind of paying for the name, but it is a better quality. Like I would buy a Rolex watch a million times over before I'd buy a Gucci watch. A Gucci watch is just trash. It's just expensive because it's got Gucci's name on it. It's a trash watch. So yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things. I would flex. The problem is with people that are flexing stupid stuff is they're flexing and also simultaneously showing how dumb they are for buying those items. Versus like if you're flexing like, oh, I bought a Rolex and I bought a Lamborghini. Sure, but like, you know, it's one of those things that like you need to be flexing good stuff. Don't flex trash that is expensive for no reason. That's basically my thought process. It's hard. I haven't really had to like voice that opinion before, so my ability to articulate my thoughts there are not well developed. All right, it's super weird. My earbuds randomly connect to my phone when they're off and charging. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. That seems like it's a software thing. And you know me. That's not my forte. GTA 5 mods are easy to add. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not trying to do all that, sorry. Just need to download and add them to the files. Yeah, no, I'm good. I am good without. I will continue to not play GTA either way. And on top of that, we'll continue to just have it downloaded to my Epic Games account and not really worry about it. I'm about 65 centimeters. Got a weight of about 50 kg. I forgot how to work out BMI. BMI is just a general. It's not something that's that important, anyways. It's just a general. It's just a general metric to know how healthy you are. It's not really going to change much. It just gives a general idea. Ooh. Okay, so sorry, we're getting to the important turns, so I had to make sure I'm doing all this right. I think my phone just buzzed or something too. Okay, so that's good. Now we just got to wait till turn 9, and then he does his thing, and then we'll be good. So we're going to go here. 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 And we're going to go here. And we're going to go one more turn. There we go. Okay, so now we should be good to put it on auto, I believe. But yeah, what was I talking about? Sorry, I just got like lightheaded for some reason. Excuse me. Oh yeah, so I figured out why Spotify isn't working. So this should be good to go for 50 turns now. Spotify is not working because of my audio output device, which doesn't make any sense to me. Spotify will work specifically if I'm using any other output source than the audio output source I'm using right now, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I don't know what that's about, but for some reason, until I get headphones again, until I go out and get another headset, I don't have the ability to use Spotify while having the ability to actually hear it. So yeah, I don't know. Spotify's bugged. Yeah, I don't know. Spotify's bugged, and I don't know how to fix it, aside from going out and buying a headset. And whenever I go out and buy that headset, then we'll have Spotify working again. But until then, we have to deal with no music in the live streams. I think I'm 67 centimeters to be exact. I can look up conversion. 17 cm 2 feet. So you are about 5'4", and you said you weighed what, 50? About 50 kg? I think it said 50 kg, right? 50 kg to pounds. 50 kg to pounds, you weigh about 110 pounds. So for 14, and your height, I'd say you're pretty healthy. Like I said, I think when I was about 14, I think I was, I want to say I was like 5 foot. I want to say I was like 5'8". I didn't grow much height-wise in high school. I want to say I was like 5'8", and I grew up to be about 6 foot. So I put on like an inch a year through high school, and then put on about 10 pounds a year. Yeah, about 10, what was it? No, I came in like 130, put on about, yeah, pretty much. I put on about, per inch, I put on about 10 pounds through high school. That's how I grew. So yeah, you're not bad. You're pretty healthy. As far as like height and weight, whether or not you're actually physically healthy is a whole nother thing, but I think you're within a decent range for how tall you are as far as your weight. But not too bad, but you're within the range, basically, is what it looks like to me. Put that back there. Yeah, I got a BMI of 18, just worked it out, mass height, quick maths, nice. Surprisingly healthy though. I would, wait, Surprisingly healthy. Thought I would be on the athlete range. Um, yeah, no, I wouldn't necessarily put you at. The problem is that like athlete range is a very, very broad term because again, it's about what type of athlete are you trying to be, first of all. And then second of all, it's not only what athlete are you trying to be, but what there's always going to be like genetic outliers. So there's like it's really hard to say what an athlete range for your age would be. The other thing is that some people are just not born to be athletes. For instance, one of my friends, um, why is that targeted on him? That's really weird. Can I make that not do that? Thank you. Um, for instance, one of my friends, he is very, very short. Um, Not quite to the level of to be labeled a short person, like as in like a little person, but short enough to where people think he might be really short. But he's got his muscle fibers are prone towards growth in the endurance spectrum. So you can actually do tests. They can actually test your muscle and see it's a painful process, but they can actually test your muscle and see whether you are prone towards being an endurance athlete or a strength athlete. The thing is he's prone towards being an endurance athlete. The problem is that if you want to be a good endurance athlete, you have to be at least reasonably tall. You can be short and be a dang good endurance athlete, but like people like him are not gonna be the best endurance athlete. Although his genetic potential, like his muscle, the way his muscle is he'd be a really good endurance athlete. He just doesn't have the stature for it. And kind of the same thing with bodybuilders. Now, bodybuilders have the whole physique of like being larger than life. The whole thing is that they're huge and muscular, but the problem is that they're taking steroids, so it's going to kind of hack that genetic potential. It gets around what their genetic potential would be. But a lot of people that are really freakishly tall don't often have a proclivity towards being heavy power lifters because again, if you have a fulcrum that is this long and it's bending on this axis, it's easier to lift 10 pounds than if you move it all the way out here. So yeah, it's all about, if you're tall in general, it'd be better for you to be an endurance athlete. It would be better for your body, but you know, it's kind of one of those things. That's why when you get into ranges, it's really, you need to know what's good for you. If you're better at being an endurance athlete, even though you might be short, just train to be an endurance athlete. Train to be what your body wants you to be. Don't train to be like you can. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying it'd be better if you just listen to your body and do what your body is saying. Hey, this is what based off of the genetics, this is what my body's supposed to be doing. Um but yeah, some of those tests are a little bit more invasive than others, and a lot of times don't need to be done. A lot of times you can just kind of figure out based off of how you train. Like me, for instance, I figured out all through high school that even though I could run long distance, I could run miles at pretty decent times. My body was designed to be a sprinter slash lifter. That was what my body was better at doing. So I listened to my body, I leaned into it and got really good at being that style of an athlete. So you just have to figure out what your body wants to do and listen to it. Boop. Maybe the reason why I got a high heart rate because I for some reason get more tensed when everyone's watching me for how healthy I am in class, and that's why I said stress could be a factor in that. But again, even if stress is a factor, you're hitting like if you're hitting 102 just because you're stressed and you're tense, that means you're probably sitting at like an 80 at resting, and that's still like that's an okay range to be in, but it's not really a healthy range. Like I mean, you need to do some cardiovascular exercise, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm just saying it's probably an indicator that you need to get some exercise in, even though you're healthy. The problem is too, though, is that you're in a healthy but lower height and weight range. The problem is that if you work out, you're going to be prone to losing weight. So, and with you being on a restrictive diet, the thing is like Working out is going to make you lose weight. The way you avoid losing weight is you eat more. So you can stay at the same, if not get bigger, is the whole idea. The problem is that most of the time when people are on restrictive diets, they lose weight because restricting what you can eat restricts what you will eat, which means you're usually going to eat less, which means your calories are going to be less, which means you're going to be losing weight. The problem is you're on a calorie restrictive diet, which is going to be making you more prone to losing weight. You're already in a low weight range, but your cardiovascular health means you need to work out. So like, it really looks like, and again, I'm not telling you what to do. This isn't like medical advice. I'm just saying that it really looks like what you need to do is you need to start getting into exercise and change up your diet to where you can get more calories in. That's really what it looks like. Because like you could change up your diet to put on more weight anyways. And it looks like you need to get some exercise in. The problem is that if you get exercise in and you don't change your diet, I feel like that's just going to make you get lower and lower in that range to where it could become not necessarily unhealthy, but it just wouldn't be optimal, is what I'm saying. So it's just kind of, I don't know, man. It's a weird spot for you to be in. But again, saying what I personally, not recommending you do, but what I personally think sounds like what you should do, is a whole nother thing versus what your parents will actually let you do, if that makes any sense. So I don't know, man. It's a tough spot, man. You can only do what your parents are going to let you do, really, until you move out. And then also once you do move out, then you've got the rest of your life to deal with, and you don't necessarily have the time, or the financial backing to do what you want to do. So it's hard, man. Life gives you cards, and your parents can be part of those cards, and you know, it is what it is, man. It's unfortunate, but let's see. Okay, so bang, yeah, here. A machine. We used a machine. Okay. Okay. So like, I'm assuming you did like. Back whenever I did this in school, what we did is we were taught how to do it, and then we verified with the machine. And basically, again, with most things, it was a range. Basically, as long as you were within a certain range, the machine's going to be a little bit off. And so as long as you were within a close enough range, like if you got that your heart rate was 80 beats per minute and the machine said 102, that would have been a problem. But if you got like your heart rate was 86 and the machine said 90, they'd be like, yeah, you're close enough. So that's what we did, but that was also a long, long time ago. So right now I'm feeling my heart. I am very relaxed right now. It's quite slow and steady. I don't really remember how to because I haven't needed to recall that information, but I'm pretty sure you can look up online how to count your heart rate. Ideally, you'd want a stethoscope to be sure. But yeah, in general, you can count your heart rate. And the problem is with counting your own heart rate is that sometimes, I remember this from the class, and again, it's been a while, but sometimes you can actually feel your heart pulse in your fingers. So if you're trying to feel your heart rate in your neck, you can actually sometimes throw your count off because you'll not only feel your neck heart rate, but you'll feel your fingertips heart rate as well. So counting your own heart rate is a little bit challenging. But hey, with social distancing, I don't think most people are going to let you come up and touch the side of their throat to try and count their heart rate. So, yeah, that being said, stethoscope would be preferred. I doubt you have one just sitting around at your house. But, yeah, man, I mean, just relaxing. And I mean, I would imagine you're in that like 80 range. If you got 102 in class, I'd imagine you're sitting at that 80 range, which again is fine. It just to me suggests you could do a little bit in the gym and pull that down a little bit, but you don't want to pull it down too much because there's other ways you can pull it down and not in a healthy way. So I don't know, man. The thing is, the human body is massively complicated and everyone's body is different. And so we have to speak in these large generalities about what is and isn't healthy, but like what is and isn't healthy for one person can be vastly different than what is and isn't healthy for someone else. And then the other thing is that your body is also very good at adapting too. So and this is part of the reason why it's so hard for some people to lose weight is because the basically, if you're not worried about macros, if you're not worried about your overall health, you just need to lose weight. Like, if you're 200 pounds overweight, it doesn't really matter how bad you treat your body and how bad your nutrition is. What matters is that you lose that 200 pounds. And the easiest way to do that is calories in versus calories out. If you are burning 2,000 calories a day and you're only eating 1,500 calories a day, you're going to lose weight. The problem is with that dieting style is that your body adapts. So if you're burning 2,000 calories a day and you restrict yourself down to 1,500 calories a day, your body's going to try and regulate itself down to where eventually you're going to start to where you're not burning 2,000 calories a day. You're burning like 1,700 calories a day. So you're still going to be losing weight if you're still only consuming 1,500 calories, but you're going to lose weight a lot slower. Your body's really good at adapting. So your body can get used to it, but it can only get used to so much. Like I said, with that weight loss example, you're going to be losing less weight, but you will keep losing weight as long as you're eating less than you're burning. That's just the way it works. So, but yeah, your body can adapt. But even then, like, so, and the reason why I bring that up is your body can adapt. So for instance, to a vegan/vegetarian lifestyle, your body can adapt to absorbing more of the nutrients it needs. So for instance, a lot of times with like a meat eater, our body only absorbs as much. So if you're eating 30 milligrams of protein, if your body only needs 10, your body only absorbs 10. But if your body needs 20, it has it available. But, you know, like your body gets more efficient at getting the nutrition it needs. But if you're putting 0 grams of protein in there, then it doesn't matter how hard, like this goes into bioavailability. Like bioavailability of protein in certain foods it's easier for your body to get the protein out of certain foods than it is for other foods. Your body can adapt to getting the protein out that it needs. But if you're putting zero grams of protein in, then there's no way for your body to adapt and get that protein. It needs the protein. So basically what I'm saying is whenever it comes to a nutrition standpoint, you have to make sure your body's getting the nutrition it needs no matter what. So that's why, like, personally, I would recommend if you're planning on getting into any form of diet, which you, again, PP, you don't have the option here, but to anyone else, if you're planning on getting into any form of diet, before you get into that diet, I would recommend getting blood work done and seeing what your body needs. Because a good way to tell what type of diet you can go on is to see what your diet currently is lacking and consult with the nutritionist after getting your blood work done and say, hey, what do you recommend? What diet can I do to achieve whatever goal, whether that be to put on or lose weight? I would recommend blood work, nutritionist. That's what I would recommend. If you're planning on doing any form of diet or any form of weight or health transformation, I would recommend consulting with those two groups of people first, personally. But again, that costs money. If you don't want to do that, just be careful, is basically what I'm saying. Again, not a scientist, not trying to give out medical information, just trying to say, you know, I'm trying to point you in the right direction of who to ask the right questions to. That's what I'm trying to do here. Let's see. Okay, so PP said he's got to go. Okay, well, never mind. All right, PP. See you on the next one. I am going to finish up by reading PP's comments. And wow, we're already at 4:35. Jeez, bro. All right, so we're going to finish up. I'm going to try. No, did I mess this up? Oh, no, I didn't mess it up. Okay. Whew, I thought I messed up that clan boss run. All right. So there, and then we should be good. Okay. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish up by reading PP's comments, and then we'll wrap it up, and I will see you guys tomorrow, Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So let's see. What did PP say here? Okay, good. I just had to make sure that everything was running properly, and it was. In fact, I'll probably count it right now. Literally give me a minute. Literally give me a minute. Nice. Around 70s. Yeah, and see, so again, I mean, chances are you could be off. So I'd say again, high 70s, 80s would be what I would expect. Again, if you were at 102. Which is healthy, but you could do better. So yeah, I'm all right, I guess. Yeah. And like I said, you seem to be in the all right range. There are just like some minor tweaks that I would recommend, and not as a professional, but that I would personally say that I think you could do. But yeah, if you had a way to tell for sure, like a machine, and a machine said you were in the 70s, then I'd say, yeah, you're probably good. But yeah. Anyways, do 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 do. I know I'm all healthy except my digestive system, which is messed up. LOL. Yeah, I mean, and that's part of the thing is, like I said, your body can get good at getting the nutrition it needs from whatever source you're giving it, um, even if that's not the most efficient. And the problem is if that source isn't the most efficient source, um, your body will tell you that, hey, you need to change. And that's what that sounds like to me. That's why for a long time I've said that, like, it sounds like it's a nutrition thing that you need to change up your diet. But if your parents won't let you, it's unfortunate, but your parents are possibly messing you up in a way that might cause you problems later on down the road, but there's nothing you can really do about it. So, one second. I'm going to get a drink of water before we finish reading PP's comments. My lips are starting to get a little dry. I've been doing a lot of talking today. I guess that's what happens on these chill streams, though, is that whenever we're just chilling, I tend to do more talking, so. All right. There's no obsidian in the nether, LOL. Okay, well, I don't remember what I'm talking about then. You add water, or wait, you can add water in the nether. Huh? I don't know. Anyways. And yeah, you don't need diamond pickaxe, but I don't know how to add water on the lava in the shape of a rectangular portal. I was gonna search how to save some time, but internet gone poo poo. Okay. From what I remember, what you would do is you would carve out, I forgot how many block it is, but you would carve out into the ground in a rectangle the space that you would need for another portal, right? You would carve that out in the ground, fill that up with lava, put water on top of it, pick the water back up, and then you have the bottom. And then what you would do is you would build a square, bang, 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 and bang, and then put lava in there, and then put water on top of it, and then just keep doing that up, and then build a bottom layer, and then two middle layers, and then a top layer, and then put it in each side, and put water in there. Like, I don't know. It seems pretty simple to me, but I don't know. It's been a while again, so I might not know anything about what I'm talking about when it comes to Minecraft. So I don't know. No way. I remember 169 centimeters. How could I forget the holy 69 at the end of it? All right. I mean, BMI would still be 18 or something, anyways. Yeah, it'd still be around that, and that's part of the reason why BMI, like, it's a good indicator, but it's not like. It doesn't tell you your health. It just tells you, like, your weight isn't necessarily your weight and height. So the thing is, like, weight alone isn't a good indicator of your health. Height and weight together isn't necessarily a great, but it's a better indicator of your health, which is what BMI is doing. And then the thing is like, it's like, so weight is probably the worst thing to go off of. Like, to judge your health based off of, weight is probably the worst. Weight plus height, bad, but not the worst. Then you have, like, your actual, you have, like, blood work. That's way better. Then you have blood work plus physical fitness based off of the average range. Like, weight's probably the worst. You can get super detailed into the point where you're losing the point, is basically what I'm saying. It's really a range, but BMI is kind of like on the tail end of what's, like, decently acceptable to judge your health based upon. It's like the easiest way I can say that. All right. Post a little something on the meme server. I'll run out of things to post. I know, LOL. Wait, what? I've run out of things to post. I know, LOL. Okay, well, I don't know what you mean. All right. Hey, what's going on? Croto, what's going on, man? Sorry, I was just wrapping it up. I didn't expect somebody else to stop by this late into the stream. Yeah, I usually end the stream about, like, 41 minutes earlier than now. So, sorry if you are here. I do have to say, though, I'm planning on ending the stream right now. But I will be back tomorrow, Tuesday, at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you Google that, it'll tell you that Google will convert it to your time locally to wherever you're at. But yeah, I will be back Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On that note, though, this run is probably going to end, based off it being 19 right now, we're probably going to end at around 25, 28-ish million damage. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next live stream, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Hope you have a good rest of your day, night, whatever it is for you. Have a good rest of it. Peace. All right, there we go. Now I'll see you. Sorry, it took me a second to get over that.